The story begins with a man named Mike, an experienced outdoorsman, and his friend Paul, who were planning an expedition to a remote, deserted area in Palmyra, a desolate place known for its harsh conditions and abandoned ruins. Palmyra, located in the Middle East, is known for its ancient city ruins, but there's something far darker lurking there. One evening, after a long day of hiking, they made camp near an old structure that seemed to be an ancient stone building. As night fell, they began to hear something peculiar, a faint howling sound, distant but unsettling. Mike, with his extensive wilderness experience, guessed that it was just a pack of wolves, nothing to worry about. However, as the night went on, the howls became louder, closer. Mike and Paul thought it was odd, but they figured it was just a coincidence. Then suddenly the wolves weren't just howling, they were circling the camp. The sound was unmistakable. The two men had heard wild animals before, but this was different. There was a strange quality to the howls, almost as though they were coordinated. Mike and Paul decided to stay vigilant. They kept the fire burning brightly, knowing that fire could keep most animals at bay. But as the hours passed, they realized the wolves weren't retreating. In the dead of night, Paul saw movement in the shadows, glowing eyes reflecting in the firelight. The wolves were no longer just a distant noise, they were close, too close. He whispered to Mike, but Mike, sensing the danger, was already on edge. Then the wolves moved in, almost methodically. There were far more than they had expected, dozens, perhaps more. The creatures were larger than normal wolves, with eyes that seemed unnaturally bright. The wolves didn't seem afraid of the fire. Mike, recognizing the danger, told Paul they needed to make a run for it. They grabbed their gear and quickly fled, but as they ran, they realized the wolves were not chasing them in the typical way. The wolves were following them, but not with the wild chaos typical of an animal hunt. Instead, the wolves were almost strategic, cutting them off at different points as though they were anticipating their movements. The two men tried to stay ahead, but the wolves seemed to be everywhere. After what felt like hours of being stalked and hunted, Mike and Paul reached a small outpost, the last place they could find refuge. They were exhausted, terrified, and barely escaping with their lives. The wolves stopped at the edge of the outpost, but they didn't leave. They were sitting staring with those haunting eyes, never getting closer but never leaving either. The two men stayed in the outpost until morning, but when they finally ventured out, they found no sign of the wolves. The creatures had disappeared into the night, leaving the two men with a chilling memory and a sense that something unnatural had occurred. As Mike and Paul made their way back to civilization, they couldn't shake the feeling that the wolves had been more than just animals. There was something about their behavior that suggested a level of intelligence and coordination far beyond that of any natural pack of wolves. Were they watching them for a reason, or was there something more sinister at play in the ancient, desolate land of Palmyra? Mike and Paul never spoke about the event in detail again, but the memory haunted them. The mystery of the Palmyra wolves would remain with them for the rest of their lives. Questions linger in their minds. What were those wolves, and why did they choose to stalk them? The unshakable feeling that something unnatural had watched them still clings to their thoughts as they leave the desolate land behind. Even in the safety of civilization, the terror of the Palmyra wolves echoes in their minds, a ghostly reminder of what they encountered. The haunting memories will never fully leave them as they continue their journey, pondering the mysteries that lurk within the ruins of Palmyra. In the days to come, Mike and Paul will question their perception of reality, forever changed by the eerie intelligence of the wolves. The shadows of that night linger long after they return to their normal lives, a constant reminder that not everything in nature is as it seems. The experience has sown seeds of doubt that they can never shake off, and the bond between them grows stronger yet more complex. They begin to exchange theories about what they experienced, trying to make sense of the strange intelligence behind the wolves. Each word spoken serves as a catharsis, yet deep down they know that some mysteries may never be solved. They share theories ranging from folklore to supernatural explanations, yet each suggestion only deepens the mystery. With each story, they realize that they are not alone in their experiences. Many have faced the inexplicable in the dark corners of the world. While life continues around them, the echoes of the Palmyra wolves remain etched in their minds, a testament to nature's hidden dangers. They ponder whether the wolves were protectors of Palmyra or perhaps something far more sinister that had witnessed their every move. Their conversation becomes a bridge between fear and fascination, each story intertwining with their own chilling experience. As they share their thoughts, a sense of camaraderie begins to weave its way through the remnants of fear. With each story shared, the grip of fear loosens just a little, allowing a sense of wonder to emerge from their terrifying experience. The urge to uncover the truth drives them, transforming their fear into an insatiable curiosity about the land they had once feared. Each revelation sparks new theories, weaving a tapestry of history and mystery that intertwines with their memories. They begin to see the wolves not just as predators but as potential symbols embedded in the history of the place they had explored.